Anyway, Daz, welcome. Good to see you, matey.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Listen, there's loads to react upon again, of course. Europa League action this time. The main event was brilliant commentary from Jim Proudfoot, as well as Alvin Martin and Hugh Wisencroft there. Brilliant stuff there. And listen, the game really changed in a direction that went against West Ham for the sending off of Cresswell when Mr Dembele has gone down. Now, I'd love to hear what West Ham and any other fan thinks of it, to be honest with you. I'm going to say this now. I actually don't even think it's a foul. I can't believe the referee, we're watching it on our monitors now, he was a shocker. The referee was shocking, and everyone slaughters the referees we've got here in the Premier League, and I've said this for years. I think we've got the best refs in the world. I genuinely do. They make mistakes, and they make big mistakes at times, but I sometimes see what goes on in the continent, and I see some of the debacles that I see of refereeing decisions. I don't actually think there's a foul. I honestly don't think it's a foul, let alone a red card. I think the referee could have played on. He touches his arm, does not drag him, does not pull him. Dembele goes over, cons the referee, and the referee cannot wait to get the red card out. They've been mugged off there, West Ham.
Absolutely. I mean, at the very, very worst, and I'm talking, I agree with you, I don't think it's a foul, but at the very worst, you can pull him up, maybe give a yellow and a little free kick. That's at the very, very worst. He could not wait, Felix Weyer, to get the red card out. Now, look at the size of Moussa Dembele. Comparing to Cresswell, he has hardly touched him. He's brushed his hand against his shoulder.
The one thing I'll say, though, is that it never looks great when you are wrong side and you're running back towards your goal. Cresswell has tried to just put him off his stride, right? We know what he's trying to do. There's hardly any contact. There's not enough for a foul for me. I don't think it's even a yellow.
There's not enough to fall over like that.
I don't think it's a yellow. I don't think it's a foul.
For another point, he has touched the ball and he's gone away from the goal. I mean, Zuma has got a lot to play in that as well, by the way, for that red card. Because I think, in terms of helping him out, he could have sprinted. What he'd done, when the ball went past him, he kind of jogged. He thought Cresswell had got it, so he jogged back thinking Cresswell's going to clear that. If he would have sprinted, then not only is it not a foul, it's not even a yellow card, he's not the last man. He couldn't wait to give the red card. And fair play to West Ham, because they've come out the other side of that with a 1-1 draw. It could have got a lot worse.
Well, credit to West Ham, because their backs were going to be against the wall. It's a long time to go down to 10 men. Bowen gets their noses in front, and on the balance of play, probably a draw was a fair result. I think it's fair to say. Hung on a little bit towards the end, but rearguard action there. Brilliant display from West Ham. They really can go home tonight, feeling as though they could have done perhaps 11v11, mate. I think they'd probably go on and win it.
Honestly, it's on our screens. We're looking at it now. It's outrageous.
Zuma does stop. Honestly, even if it's a foul, and I'm being very generous, that's not an obvious goal scorer.
He's not going towards goal. And you can tell from Moussa Dembele's reaction. Now, it's obviously, if anyone's not watching it, he gets up on his knees and he's winked to someone as if I've conned him there.
We all know what's happened. The referee's been conned. And he couldn't wait. You're absolutely right. I love your reaction, Hammers fans. 03717 223344. There was another Europa League game. Rangers went away to Braga. We were trying to watch 3 games at once. It's very difficult. But we mainly watching the West Ham game because that felt like the best. But that's not the worst result for Rangers.
No, it's not.
They had a goal disallowed, Braga, which probably on reflection was a foul in the build-up to the goal they scored before.
That was harsh as well. I'm going to say that. It was a little bit harsh, but I mean, not as harsh as the West Ham one that we've seen, but you can see that why that's given. It's gone to VAR. Once the ref goes over to the monitor, he's always going to change his mind. It's not the worst result. And you know what? All the British clubs, it's not the worst results because there's no away goal rule anymore.
That's right.
Even the result tonight at West Ham, it's not bad. And I think Rangers can take confidence in giving Braga a half-decent game, by the way. They set up well. They can still go through, in my opinion. If they go to bring them back to Rangers, they've got a big chance.
Indeed. And Leicester as well in the Conference League. Perhaps a little disappointed. PSV, they're in decent form. This was always going to be a tricky game. 0-0, very, very tight. We were trying to watch that game. From memory, there wasn't a lot in it from both sides, but I did hear Jeff Peters, a big Leicester City fan, saying there that he felt perhaps they were a bit fortunate not to have given away a penalty. Love to hear your thoughts. If you're at any of those games or you've watched the games on telly, 03717 223344. We're not going to mess about. Loads of calls last night. Big night of football last night, as I know. But a big night again this evening. Make sure you get your calls in. The only place on national radio to get your voice heard is right here on the Sports Bar. Let's go and speak to Roy, who's a Rangers fan. First caller of the evening, Roysy. Good evening.
Good evening, guys. How you doing?
I'm all right. Well, now, listen, as I said, we were trying to watch 3 games. The Rangers game was on a slightly smaller screen. Just want your thoughts on the 90 minutes. How do you feel you've done?
To be honest, I think we're way off what we were last season against Braga. But I do believe that actually we've taken a little bit of dent since we had the game against Celtic. But, the Europa League is a very difficult league. I think it's our kind of style of play. And I think that going back to Ibrox with a 1-0 kind of deficit, I reckon that we the 50,000 fans, I think the team behind them, I reckon that we've got nothing to worry about personally. And I would just really like the club to, and the fans just to relax a little bit and say, hey, this is European football. You're never going to win every single game away from home. And especially with the change of the away goals rule as well. We got to take the 1-0 defeat as a positive. And obviously I also would like to say that I think the team selection was a little bit difficult tonight. I reckon that Ramsey should have played. I don't know how the Rangers fans think about it, but I think Ramsey against Celtic was actually really, really good. And I think they missed that run from midfield tonight. I think it was a little bit too defensive, but all in all, we'll take that 1-0 defeat and we'll win 2-3-1 away from home.
Roy, I mean, how concerning was it? I think 6 attempts on goal didn't work the goalkeeper once. I mean, if you want to win games, you've got to start hitting the target. Is that a concern?
It is a concern, and I believe that Van Bronckhorst doesn't have a striker. I think that's where we are as a team. I think we can create a lot of chances, and I think if you look at the Celtic game, 35 attempts on goal in the second half, give or take, in the whole game. It is a concern, but I think Giovanni will look at that over the next few weeks and say, he's going to change his tactics a little bit. I think he's probably going to play maybe a Manchester City style, maybe a fake number 9, and bring the midfield more into it than try to play a number 9 for the middle, because obviously with Alfredo would take the ball wide. He can take the ball up through the middle. He's always a danger. We don't have that target man anymore. So I think that he also, as a manager, needs to take responsibility for changing the team dynamics over the next few weeks to ensure that potentially, at the end of the day, the way I look at it, and I think Rangers fans might have given up on the title, but it's only 6 points. I do believe that Rangers as a club have been here before. I think Celtic are obviously,
they got the nose. It was a massive game at the weekend, of course. Listen, Royce, thanks very much for the call. Listen, Rangers still it 1-0 away from home. No away goals, of course. So they're still very much in that tie. Of course, they can take them back to Ibrox and beat them with a couple of goals. All the ties tonight are open. Leicester fans, give us your thoughts on West Ham fans after that debacle of a refereeing display. Give us your thoughts on what was a really, really good response to going behind for 10 men, but taking the lead as well, Bowen with another crucial goal. Keep the calls coming, 03717 22 33 44.